Hey, FaithWorks Ministries family. It is Pastor Ramona, and I am so excited where God has us. Y'all, we are in the second half of the year. God has been blessing, and he will continue to bless exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. And I'm so excited that we are starting a new sermon series, and the sermon series is entitled Altered at the Altar. Because my worship is for real. Y'all, that song is my jam. I'm so excited because this month we are going to look at 4 different biblical figures that have built altars. Now, they didn't build these altars just out of ritual. They built them out of revelation. And so thinking about this sermon series, I want you to grab a hold and know that this is not just a regular sermon series. It's a call. And the call is to rebuild our worship life. And so that's what we're going to be talking about every Sunday. And this coming Sunday, I want you to tune in now because we are going to start with Noah. So let me give y'all a little bit of insight what we're going to be talking about. So just to give y'all a little bit of taste. So first, before I give you the taste, let me ask you a question. What would your worship sound like if you just came out of the storm of your life? Think about that. What would you offer God if you was the only one left standing? This is where we meet Noah in Genesis 6 through 9. The world had gone crazy, y'all. It was violence, chaos, sin. It was so much going on. But in the middle of it all, Noah found grace in the sight of the Lord. And because he walked with God, God gave him a blueprint for salvation, not just for himself, but for his whole family. Y'all, I'm going to try not to get too excited. This is just supposed to be getting us ready for Sunday. And think about this. Months after sitting in this ark, dealing with rain, dealing with the darkness, dealing in waiting, dealing in isolation. He's sitting in all of this. Judgment has been on the face of the earth. And the only thing that remains is this ark. And when it's time and that door is open, Noah, he steps out on some dry land. He doesn't throw a party. He doesn't try to go talk to everybody on the ark and say, this is what we're about to do. He didn't have a big old strategy meeting. He didn't go into all this back and forth. He didn't even think about a place to live. He didn't talk about we about to barbecue up in here. What he did was he built an altar. Why did he build an altar? Because salvation demands a response. And that response is worship. Y'all, okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Look, y'all, it's so much that is in here. God is giving us so many nuggets. This ark wasn't just a boat. It was a wooden structure for salvation built by the obedience of a faithful man. Does that sound familiar, y'all? Y'all know I can't get off of here without talking about Jesus. Jesus, yes, the carpenter. Okay, remember now that he was a carpenter, and Jesus, he built an altar of salvation for us. Y'all know what that was called? The cross. Just like Noah entered through the ark through one door, what did Jesus say? I am the door. It's only one way to get to the Father but by me. You can't get to him unless you come through me. It was only one way into that ark, and it's only one way to God, and that's through Jesus. Okay, y'all, I'm not. Okay, look, we have to get excited. This is why we worship. Because we didn't survive by accident. We were saved on purpose, y'all. Okay, that's a tape. We're going to be talking. We're going to have a good time in the Lord. I want to make sure that you lock in this Sunday at 8 a.m. It's going to be Central Standard Time. Y'all get in. It's going to be live on, of course, here on Facebook, YouTube. We are going to talk about Noah, and here is your homework. Y'all know how Pastor love to give us that homework, right? So our homework is to read Genesis 6 through 9 and start to pray and ask the Lord to reveal and to show you what he is doing, what he is showing you in his word. And then also ask yourself, if God brings me out, or I should say when God brings you out of the situation that you are currently in, what altar are you building to him? Okay, y'all, I'm so excited about this. So we will see y'all on Sunday. I want you to invite somebody to watch online with you. Get your friends, get your family, tune in, and we are going to talk about this worship now. We're going to worship altered at the altar because my worship is for real.